Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's your girl Nurse Diaries and I'm back with another video. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hey, my name is Marie Catherine and I'm the founder of Nurse Diaries UK. What is Nurse Diaries? Nurse Diaries is a platform for nurses, student nurses, healthcare professionals just to really relate to. It's a place where I openly talk about nursing. I also talk about women's health conditions as well that occur. So I have guest speakers on my platform as well, so I've got something called Talks with Nurse Diaries, which is a session where I just speak with individuals, whether they're healthcare professionals or people speaking about their personal experiences, whether that's to do with nursing or women's health. So yeah, that's what this page is all about. And when I'm not doing nursing content, I'm also showing you guys the fun side to nursing, that nurses can have fun as well. I love going on holiday, I love traveling, I love going to restaurants and just actually spending time having a nice balance. So I love to present that to you guys as well. But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to tell you guys everything to do with what this video is going to be about, so keep watching to find out. So first of all, let me start by saying thank you guys so much. We have reached 1k on my channel, which is amazing. Like, I remember when I first started YouTube, so to reach 1k, I'm actually so blessed and I'm so thankful. So thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure you subscribe, please. So that is the first thing I want to say. And also guys, it's my birthday today, so I'm filming this on my birthday because I thought, you know what, can't go without a video for you guys. I have to make sure I deliver for you all. But yeah, anyways, this video is going to be a reflection of my 2 years as a nurse. So I'm gonna reflect back on when I first started as a newly qualified nurse till now. It's so weird to think that it's actually been an entire 2 years. Like, time honestly flies by so quick. I remember doing my first vlog as my first ever night shift, and now I'm like queen of night shifts. So it just shows that time passes by so quick. But yeah, reflecting back on my 2 years, I would just say, wow. I would say to my younger self, like, girl, it's okay. I feel like when I first started as a newly qualified, if you don't know already, but I've already spoken quite often about how I was working in a department specialty that I didn't even know anything about. I done research prior to commencing that in that area, but I feel like everything was so brand new. But I would say to my younger self, like, do you know what, you will actually get the hang of everything. Everything seems so new to begin with because you realize that there's a lot of things that nurses actually do. And even though I was so comfortable in my management placement, like, I literally had the best assessors I could ever ask for. Like, shout out to Anatolia. Yeah, literally she was the best practice assessor ever. But do you know what? I feel like when you start, you actually starting something completely new. Like, despite the fact I had the best assessor ever, I still felt like, whoa, like, what is going on? And I feel like that's because I was in a different trust. Everything was completely different. I was in London now when I was studying outside of London, so things were quite different. But you know what, I would say to my younger self that it's actually okay to start off and feel like lost, a bit confused. And it's actually okay to ask questions, ask for help, even if people are not willing to help, or just feel like, oh, like, how didn't you not know this? Do you know what? It's better to look silly, because that's how you learn things and that's how you retain things. So that's what I would say to my younger self, just don't be too afraid. And even if people like way older than you, don't feel like you can't speak to them. I thought that's one thing I was saying to myself as well, because I think I was like 20. Yeah, I think I was 20 when I finished university and started my first job. 20 or 21. I think I was 20, yeah. And I felt like, you know, a bit afraid to speak up. And now I know, like, just speak up. Sometimes I do feel afraid, but at the end of the day, now I know, like, you know what, this is my job, this is to look after my patients, this is for my patients, so I'm going to protect myself at all costs. That's what I always say to myself. So I think you should say that to yourself as well, because it's important. At the end of the day, you're your patient's advocate. You don't want to make a mistake, an unnecessary mistake, because you didn't bother asking somebody, or you were a bit too shy to ask someone. But yeah, I've also think, going back, I remember like towards when I had settled in and you know, things were going okay in my first year as a newly qualified, I feel like one thing I did learn is just to get the confidence to do things. I remember like I had called somebody and I wasn't sure about something, so I was just calling because someone told me to call, but I didn't really understand why I was calling and escalating the issue. But I feel like knowing your stuff and having a bit of confidence when you're speaking is actually really important, and I learned that because I feel like when you don't sound confident, people don't want to listen to you, or your opinion is not really validated. Whereas when you actually sound really confident in what you're doing and what you're saying, people actually respect you and listen to you more. So that's something I've actually learned as well. So really do know your stuff so that you can really advocate and, you know, talk about things and explain things in depth so that somebody else can understand you. And I'm talking about people within the multidisciplinary team specifically. What else would I say? I would say to my younger self, reflecting back on 2 years, make sure you get enough sleep before your shifts. I feel like it's so important to make sure you get enough sleep before your shifts. It's not like university when you can go out and literally go to placement and with like a few hours, if even, of sleep. Like, no. You have to make sure you get enough rest and make sure you're eating good. Things can become so stressful. Don't get me wrong, like there's times where I am so depressed, like, or I'm so tired out. I've had so many shifts, like night shifts, that I feel like I'm just being excluded from society. One thing I realized is that it's so weird, like going through a night shift, coming back home, and then whilst you're coming back home, on your way home, you're seeing everybody walking, rushing into work, everybody looking fresh, and you just feel like you have literally no life left in you. Like, that is one thing that sometimes I find it quite depressing, especially around this time when it's winter and it's cold, etc. It is quite dark. You go in the dark, you come back in the dark. It's just lonely kind of thing. So I would say it's important just to communicate with family, communicate with friends. Make sure you do meet up with people in your spare time. Or you do another activity. Like I started doing swimming because I just wanted to, you know, do something that is really for you. I feel like a lot of people go to the gym. If the gym is for you, then do that. If you don't like the gym but you're just going for going sick, then you're not going to enjoy it. Just do something that you actually enjoy and meet up with the people that you love, because it does make a difference. It really does. I feel like I have found the difference. I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes we think of our finances first, but you know, sometimes you just think to yourself, life is short, so just do what makes you happy. That's what I would say. Something else I would say, reflecting back on the 2 years, would be to book training, girl. Book your training. I feel like there's so many times where I didn't really think about training. I didn't think it was essential. But you know what? At the end of the day, it looks good on your like CV to put that you've done A, B, and C training. So just book it. And if there isn't a training that you want, then ask about it to people within your team, maybe senior people within your team, or find out what trainings they've done. Just ask questions to the senior people, because whether this is the sisters on your ward, sometimes they can actually be helpful, or whether it's somebody within management. Yeah, like just find somebody and speak to them. I'm trying to think of what else I've learned in this 2 years. Definitely time management just goes as you go on. Like I feel like when I first started, I remember like struggling so much with everything. It was just so overwhelming for me. I'd literally leave work at like 10 p.m. like all the time, like consistently. Like nowadays, I've learned that I'm an individual who doesn't like handing things over to my colleagues now. I've learned that, but you know what is, one can only do so much. Just do your best, and yeah, and I feel like time management will find itself for you, and do things in your own time, or find your own routine of everything, and you'll be okay. And make sure you go on your breaks. I'm one who sometimes I get in the pattern of when I'm in my mood and my flow, in my vibe, or when I like love my patients so much, I just feel like, yeah, I need to do everything for them, I need to do every single thing, and I sometimes just neglect myself. And it's like, no, don't neglect yourself. Nowadays I keep on having this water with me, yeah, to the extent that my colleagues see me and they're like, oh my gosh, like Marie and her Elmhurst water, because that's the water that I always drink. But the point is, just try and drink your however many litres of water you're drinking, whether it's 2 litres, whether it's 3 litres, etc., because it's so important. I feel like there's times where I'm on shift and I'm thinking I haven't even like gone to the toilet to urinate all day, like from 8 a.m. it's like 5 p.m. and I haven't peed, I haven't drank any water. And it's like when you actually see the reasons why people get admitted and you hear about things and you hear about AKI and stuff like that, it just makes you realize that, okay, cool, like we're in the healthcare profession and we are actually neglecting ourselves. Like we are not looking after ourselves, and God forbid like we end up getting things like this. So it's just important to really care for yourself as much as you care for your patients. Otherwise you're just going to be doing more damage to yourself, and if you're doing damage to yourself, you don't want to be that person that leaves your career early due to health complications because you know, neglected yourself in younger years or when you started, etc. So it is something to pay attention of, and I know that it's not easier said than done, but please do drink your water, look after yourself, take your breaks, go to the toilet, like etc. I think it's always important to be open to learn new things. I think that there's a lot of changes that are occurring within the NHS, whether it's like a new ways of administering blood, whether it's just doing new things. Like I feel like there's so many different things. I know that there's like, for my trust anyways, there's like forms that we're doing for complex discharges that are now online, etc. So I feel like just be that person that wants to learn new things, or like is around somebody who actually knows a lot, so you can just, you know, feed off their knowledge and learn new things from those individuals as well, because that's how you'll go far. And always push yourself, strive to be the best that you can be, and like know what you want to do, if that makes sense. Like when you're finding your feet, as this is now me talking being a second year of nursing, I feel like don't feel too comfortable where you are, and don't feel comfortable enough to say this is my forever. You don't want to be a band 5 forever. You want to progress, and you want to take this as a career. Like this is your profession, this is your career. Like look at what other ways you can, you know, succeed in your career. I think that's really important to actually like want to more for yourself, definitely. So guys, on the 14th of December, that's 14th of December, I will be hosting a nursing and women's health event. So what does that mean? You may be thinking that means that it's an event only for nurses, and that is so not true. So the event basically means that I'll be hosting an event where it will be open to everybody who is a nurse and who also is within the women's health field. So that means an individual maybe who is not a healthcare professional but has an interest in women's health, or it can be a woman who is just interested in learning more about women's health or learning more about nursing. It can be for nursing students as well. Midwives, this doesn't mean that you're not included, this also means you're included, because women's health is to do with everything. It can be with pregnancy, it can be gynecology, it can be everything. So the event is basically open to everybody. So anybody nursing, anybody who has an interest in women's health is open to you as well. And yeah, that day will be filled with guest speakers speaking to you about nursing and also speaking about women's health as well. And we'll be joined by a special midwife who will also be speaking about midwifery. So yeah, it's basically a day not to miss. So make sure you purchase your tickets. Tickets are available to purchase, and I'll put the link to the tickets in the description box below. So make sure you do go, and I will really love to see you. It's going to be my last event of the year as well, so honestly it's one not to miss. So make sure you go. But yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and do a birthday vlog for you guys, just to, you know, spicing up the channel a bit. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys next week, next Sunday, where I will be joined by Nurse Anita, and we'll be talking about her success within nursing. Now she's a band 7 tissue viability nurse covering 3 different hospitals. So I'm sure you guys are going to love that video. You're going to love her talking about her journey as how she's became a band 7 tissue viability nurse specialist. And if you haven't already, make sure you watch my previous videos to do with Talks of Nurse Diaries. Last week we were joined by Letting Loose, and we were talking about everything to do with women's health. If you haven't watched that already, make sure you go and watch it. We also have videos from Julia and Alexandria Grace, so make sure you go and watch those as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you do comment, subscribe, share with friends, and I'll see you guys next week when I'm joined with Anita. Bye guys. So it's your girl Nurse Diaries, and I'm here with
Who knows what the future holds? Maybe I'll move abroad at some point.
And that's good.
And hair is good.
Hair is good.
Hair is beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what you're content with is more than enough.
Yep.
I feel like we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to do it because you want to do it. And I love how you spoke about praying. For me as well, prayer is key. It guides me into what I want to do. Because I know not everybody is religious. If you, I don't know, whatever it is that you do, right. Just do it because you want to do it. Do it because you've got the signs that it's good for you, but don't follow a crowd.
Yep.
Having said that, with me, I feel like, would I go abroad? Yes and no at the same time.